Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with a Q&A. I've done quite a few Q&As on my channel before. I actually have a Q&A playlist, so if you're kind of curious about the woman who is Toni Daley, definitely go and check them out. But I haven't done one since my divorce has been finalized. A lot has happened, and so I decided to just put it out there. Hey guys, do you have any questions? If so, drop them below. And so that's what we're gonna go through today. Now, I did get quite a few questions. I got 37, and I don't want to bore you guys by rambling on. So I think I'll probably break it up and do half and half, if that's okay with you. Okay, so Ty Nicole, shout out to you, girl. Ty Nicole asks, hi Toni, disregard if discussed in a previous Q&A. How do you manufacture the wigs you sell? What is your business origin story? Were you on a different professional path initially? Hats off to entrepreneurs. This is not my ministry, but I admire the moves. Thank you very much. So I don't think that I had an innate entrepreneurial spirit, if you will. I grew up in a Jamaican household. So, you know, the stereotypes about Jamaicans, they come from somewhere. We are a work hard mentality of people.
Today I gave birth to your lazy husband, Byron. My son, I was working 6 jobs, no man. I was a wedding photographer, meter maid, shoe salesman, swimming instructor, sushi chef, and taking a bar exam, all while delivering his lazy fetus. Oh. Get up now.
I grew up watching my parents have several jobs, go from, you know, having several jobs. It wasn't about having one full time and coming home and kicking up your feet. Like, we work, we put in that work. And that's what I grew up with. That's the mentality that I was raised in, is work hard in school, have multiple extracurricular activities. And so that's the mentality that I went into my schooling. I majored in psychology. I had every intention of going into child psychology and early childhood education. And, you know, as I went out into the working world and started moving through corporate and stuff like that, I never really loved the 9-to-5. As a matter of fact, it really did kind of depress me. On the flip side of that, as good as I was in school and as much as I respected, you know, hard work ethic and education, I've always been a creative. I started painting when I was in kindergarten. I've always enjoyed creating things with my hands. And so that was always a hobby. And it was a hobby, even as I started my YouTube journey. You guys saw that I made earrings. This was before I started selling, but I would do tutorials, show you guys how to make stuff, earrings, show you guys drawing on my t-shirts and cutting them up and making t-shirts. And the natural hair movement back in 2009, 2010, when I just got on YouTube, is what inspired me to create wigs. Back then, there were no natural hair options that look like this. Now, of course, there are tons, many options for you to choose from. But when I started, there were none. I could not find what I now market and sell as the Toni wig, which was basically an affordable Afro-textured synthetic wig. If you guys followed me in the beginning, you know that I used to love Leger by, was it Outre, the Vanessa collection? One of them brands. They had this wig. It wasn't 4C, it wasn't kinky like my texture, but it was very curly, and I used to fluff the heck out of it. And that was like my protective style, because that was just what I enjoyed doing. Even when I was relaxed, I used to wear wigs and just, you know, do my little hairline, but they were straight, they were kinky straight. When I became natural, I still wanted to get the ease of styling with wig options like I did when I was relaxed. I just couldn't find any options, and so I decided to make it. I went to beauty supply stores, bought all my supplies, went through tons of different types of synthetic hair, different methods of curling and crimping and kinkying it up, until I finally came up with one that I love. And that's the one that sort of spawned me going into business full time for myself, because at that time I was still, of course, creating. Like, I love to create my t-shirts and my earrings. But obviously when I started making wigs and my audience started seeing the wigs and could not believe that, you know what I mean, they looked so realistic and that I had made them, they started asking for it. So I started supplying it. And yeah, I started out making them in my condo. That was my first home that I purchased. It was a 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo that I purchased all by myself. My then boyfriend, ex now, moved in with me. And I was still working full time at my corporate job and running the business. And eventually I outgrew that space. That's when I started looking at houses and moving out of the condo. I do miss condo life though, I must say. But anyways, yeah, because I needed more space for this venture that I was about to take on full time. And it took me a long time to finally get up the nerve to quit my job. I think I still have a vlog with that whole process on my old channel, but yeah, that is basically the story of how I started my business and started manufacturing my wigs. Carolyn Wiley. Hi, Toni. Congratulations on your divorce. Thank you. My question is, has the boy's family ever reached out to support you during the separation period or even now? I mean, you were in his family for over 20 years. Thank you very much for the congratulations. And no, they did not reach out to me during the separation. After the separation, him and his family disappeared from my life when he disappeared. And I have not heard from anybody, any of them since, including his friends. So they all ghosted me. Margaret A. Hey girl. What advice would you give to your younger self regarding marriage, home ownership, and being a boss babe? Also, do you have any vacay plans for the summer of 2022? And was it easy to detach yourself from your in-laws, mutual friends after divorce? Okay, so advice to my younger self regarding marriage, home ownership, and being a boss babe. Marriage, I've actually mentioned this in the past, but my advice to my younger self and to anybody younger watching and anybody older watching, my advice to any woman as well as my younger self would be to decenter romantic relationships. We are literally indoctrinated from the time we are born to center being with a man. It starts from our nursery rhymes, our fairy tales, our Disney movies. I really do feel that that is one of the major things that stunts our growth as women and leads to low self-esteem. I also think that it's harmful in the sense that it's very heteronormative and makes it hard for queer kids to come out and fully realize who they are. So I think it's great that Disney is moving towards a direction of showing more diversity and inclusivity in terms of their films and media images. But, you know, I've said it before, I was always way too good for the boy. Did I know it when I was 19 and met him? No, I didn't. 19-year-old Toni had way less self-esteem, way less confidence than 40-year-old Toni. 40-year-old Toni would have never given him the time of day. And so that's why I think it's really important that we encourage our young women to decenter romantic relationships. Just think about the small amount of love, encouragement, resourcefulness, confidence that we get from each other just in this small micro community on the internet. And imagine that being multiplied tenfold with all the relationships that you had in your life. You know what I mean? I think that a lot of us would have probably done a lot different. Also, when it comes down to heartbreak, it's very important to have a community to lean on. You know, heartbreak, people like to downplay it and, oh, get over it. And, you know, you weren't even together that long, or he wasn't all that. Whatever people tend to say to you when you're going through what feels like the end of your world. But at the end of the day, heartbreak is nothing to downplay. I mean, wars have been started over heartbreak. You know what I mean? Honor killings, murders have been done over heartbreak. Heartbreak is one of the most intense, in my opinion, human emotions that we can experience and feel. And so I think that when you are going through that, it's important to have a community, a support group, friends, family to hold you up and get you through it. And you're not going to have that tight-knit community if you spend your entire life centering romantic relationships, because those familial and platonic relationships are not going to be deemed important enough to you. I would love to do a whole separate video on this, girl, because one of the things that I noticed from jump, you know, Half and Keisha have been in my life a long time. Keisha is my niece, so I've known her entire life. Half is Keisha's best friend, so I met her when Keisha was in high school. But they've always been around in my life. They became more visible on my YouTube channel after my separation because I decided to take my channel in that direction. However, half is not new. Keisha's not new. And the amount of comments that I got suggesting that I would never go that hard for a friend unless I was sleeping with her, and there's no way I would be mowing the lawn and doing all that if I'm not getting nothing in return. And it made me not offended. It made me sad for these women. It made me so sad for these women that it made me so sad that I'm tearing up now. So sad for these women that they have no one who values them for anything other than sex. I am an extremely valuable asset to the people who are in my life. You want to know why my friends ride so hard for me? It's because I'm an amazing friend and I ride for them. You get what you put out. Sorry, I kind of went on a tangent with that one, but it makes me sad. It makes me sad. Anyways, do I have vacation plans for summer 2022? No, but this summer I do plan on having a hot girl summer. I do plan on winging it. I do plan on getting a lot of sun, a lot of vitamin D, kicking it with the girls. So hopefully my vlogs will become more exciting and more eventful once the warm weather kicks in. And was it easy to detach myself from my in-laws? See question number 1. Naturally done. Hey girl. My question is for Mama Daley. I have been doing yard work, trying to get me a man. Stop. Trying to get me a man. Still no luck. Any suggestions for a woman of a particular age like me? Also, have you ever considered writing a cookbook? You're a great cook, Mama Daley. Thank you. Naturally done is so funny because Mama Daley literally met her husband by sitting outside. Like, he saw her from across the road, girl, down the road, and came to her. So she literally says she spoke him into her life. But I'm going to screenshot this question, naturally done, and I will definitely tag you when I get an answer directly from the horse's mouth. Ari and Ya. Shout out to you, girl. Are you dating? And if so, tell us about how you met him, how long you've been dating, any reservations about opening up, falling in love, and if you think your past relationship has caused you to be more cautious. Otherwise, are you happy, Toni? Because we want you to be happy in love too. So I think you're using the word dating to mean relationship. So I'm going to answer both. Am I dating? Yes, I am out in the world. I'm dating a lot. Am I in a relationship? No, I'm single. Do I have reservations about opening up and falling in love? And has my past relationship caused me to be more cautious? I have no reservations about opening up and being in love. My past relationship actually has not caused me to be more cautious. What it has done actually is make me more aware of what I want and more aware of what I am worth. So I'm not more cautious. I just know that I deserve more than somebody who's unemployed. I know that I deserve more than somebody who's a narcissist. I know that I deserve more than somebody who is disloyal, who cheats, etc. So I'm not more cautious. My playing field is smaller because I know I'm worth more than that. Otherwise, are you happy, Toni? Because we want you to be happy in love too. So I am more than happy. I'm ecstatic. I'm happier now than I ever was in my previous relationship. And if you go back to my previous answer, in terms of decentering romantic relationships, I don't need to be in love to be happy. My life is full of love. And in my opinion, platonic love and familial love is equally as important as romantic love. Yasmin Scott says, Marley is getting older. Do you plan on letting her pick out your next dog, or is she it for a while? So Marley has always been it. Marley is 14, so you're right. She's definitely getting up there. And she's a princess. She's very spoiled. She likes her space. I guess she's the same as any old woman. She doesn't like children and she doesn't want them around her. So I would never do something she doesn't like. I would never bring puppies into her space. She literally hates children. So she's my everything. And yeah, she will always be just Marley until she's just Marley no more. Wax Plaques, hey girl. Where is the first place you want to travel to when you get comfortable with air travel again? What is your dream international destination, and would you ever do a solo trip? The first place I want to travel once I get on that plane is Jamaica. I want to go back to my roots. I want to plant my ass in a white sand beach. I want to eat jerk chicken out of a drum. I just want to be with my people again. I love Jamaica. I am Jamaican. And so that's the first place I want to be. Also, the flight is a reasonable flight time. It's 4 hours from Toronto to, Mobay. And as you guys know, I am terrified of flying. So the shorter the flight, the better for me. My dream international destination, I have a few on my bucket list, but I guess the one that the girls hear me talk about the most, and I have no idea why, but I always tell them, like, before I die, I want to go and look at the Sphinx. Like, I just want to look at the Sphinx in his face. I want to make eye contact with the Sphinx. So, yeah, I want to be in the desert. I want to be in Egypt. I want to see the pyramids. I want to ride around in an ATV in the sand dunes. I want to, I want to look at the Sphinx. I want to look at the Sphinx. I don't know why, but that's something that I've always dreamt of doing. Miss Dimples. Hey, Miss Dimples. Hi, Toni. How would you feel if your roommates decided to move? By the way, I hope that never happens. Love them so much. If my roommates move, I will be proud of them and support them. I'm the auntie of the family. I have a ton of nieces and nephews, and my nieces and nephews are my favorite people in the entire world. I would do anything for them, including let them live with me and make my home their home as well. And they are welcome to do that for as long as they want to and for as much time as they want to until they no longer want to. If and when they want to move out, have their own space, then, they're adults. They're more than able to do that on their own. And I would obviously have no problem with it. I'm always proud of any endeavor that my nieces and nephews and friends take on. Fabulous 1-1. Shout out to you. When you and Drew were married, how did he make money to support paying bills? What was the source of his income? When I first met my ex, oddly enough, he actually owned his own business. He had a partner and they had a web design business. This was when I first met him. So keep in mind, I was 19, he was 24. To me, that blew my mind back in 1999. I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. He had a car, he had his own business. He was the manager of a computer store. It seemed seemingly on paper, he had his ish together. Little did I know the business was literally not bringing anything in, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, when we first met, he was a manager of a computer store, worked in retail, I guess you could say. Eventually, he left that job, went to a more corporate job, lost that job just before we got married, actually. And then after we got married, he went through a plethora of jobs. He did everything from working at more retail. He did delivery. He was a limo driver for a while. He, honestly, he had so many jobs that I've forgotten half of them. And like I said, once my business took off and I needed help running the business, he worked for me. Remoses is one of my favorite people, you guys. Hey, Toni, which character on The Office do you relate to the most? What a good question, you guys. I love The Office. It's my favorite show in the world. Okay, this is kind of tough because I kind of relate to several characters. Here's my thing. When I actually worked in The Office, listen, you guys, I used to work for a company that was very similar to Dunder Mifflin. Like, girl, the stories I could tell, very similar. When I worked there, I was definitely Stanley. Like, I was there to get my paycheck. I did not want to talk to none of these people. They annoyed the shit out of me. Like, when I worked at Dunder Mifflin, trust me, I was Stanley. But now that I'm out of that and I'm the one running the business, honestly, I think now, though, I do relate the most to Jim. I feel like I give main character energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm smarter and capable of more than the job allows me to do, because there's a ceiling at companies like Dunder Mifflin, right? There's a ceiling, And eventually Jim moved on and started his own thing. So I definitely relate now more to Jim. Toledo Sapphire and Kat Andrina, they both had the same question. They said, what kind of car or SUV are you considering getting next once you get rid of your BMW? I love Subarus myself. Good luck, Toni. Love from Ohio. Thank you, Ohio. So I think the next SUV I'm gonna get into is the Lexus RX 350 because it's still considered luxury, but to be honest, Toyota makes all their parts, which is reliable like Honda, right? Toyota, Honda, Japanese, whatever. So I figure the Lexus RX 350 will be much cheaper to maintain than the BMW, much more reliable, but still give me that luxury feel. And so that's what I'm aiming for. That's what's on my vision board. So I plan on purchasing it cash, girl, cash. I'm manifesting it, speaking it into my life. And once I purchase it cash, then I actually plan on gifting the BMW to somebody who is in need or needs a car. Latanya Greathouse, hey girl. Hi Toni, when will you do another party or a meet and greet? I've only actually done one party, which was my 100K party / 40th birthday bash that I put on March 14th, and then March 15th, the world shut down. So, got one right in. And I had a great time, but I don't think I would have another one. I have no plans to do another party, no plans to do another meet and greet. So, yeah, no plans to do one. Carolyn Wiley says, Toni, I just finished watching your bedroom makeover for Miss Marley. Would you ever consider design doggy wears, bandana leash dresses, dogs or cats? Your styles for Marley can rock for others. No, I definitely haven't considered getting into the pet realm or pet world realm. I love my pet, but I don't have a passion for pets. I love my dog, but I don't love other people's dogs. And I have a lot of things that I am passionate about and that I am working on right now, such as natural hair, jewelry, beauty, cooking, decor. So I already have a lot on my plate, and I have no desire to do a pet line at this time. Toya Purple Goddess, hey girl, now that your divorce is final, are you free? Oh, now that your divorce is final and you are free, what are your summer plans? Even though I'm divorced on paper, my summer plans actually haven't changed. So yeah, my plan is just to enjoy the Toronto weather. We have very hot, very short summers. So it's like a whirlwind romance Torontonians have with summer. It's hot and heavy and quick. So my plan is to be outside every day, girl, with my girls. So hopefully you guys will be seeing more of Charm, more of Tisha, more of Jada, more of Aphrodite, more of my people when I'm out and about in these Toronto streets, girl. GDA Essence, do you ever plan on doing a meet and greet in the US? No, I actually don't plan on doing a meet and greet anywhere in Toronto, in Canada, in the US, in Jamaica, overseas, nowhere. Like I'm not a meet and greet person. If there are like events that come up, like natural hair events or beauty events that I know I will be at, then I'll definitely let y'all know where I'm about to be at, but it wouldn't be me organizing a meet and greet. That's just not my thing. Blue Isis 02. Hey girl. Hey Toni, please disregard if this has been asked, but how did you get started with staging and decluttering? What's your declutter process? How did you stay motivated with managing your businesses, especially through the initial phases of your divorce, other than knowing you needed an income? Okay, so I got started with staging and decluttering through the sale of my matrimonial home. When my ex-husband ghosted me, I had no choice. I had no choice but to take care of business. It was either take care of business or let the bank come and repo my home and possessions. So it's not that I needed a reason to stay motivated. It's that I had to do it. Like I had to. It was that or be homeless, right? Lose all my assets, lose my home, lose everything that I had worked for pretty much majority of my adult life. So it wasn't motivation, more over a necessity. So when I got to the stage of the separation where I knew I was going to sell the house and put it on the market, I started searching for a Black realtor. You know, I always use Black owned businesses. So I reached out to a bunch of black realtors, and I was drawn towards one in particular. He came to the house, he looked around, and he said, I can't believe I don't have to do anything this time, because I didn't do anything to prepare the house for him. It's just how I keep my home. I keep my home staged and decluttered. It was a very easy process and sale for him because he didn't have to coach me the way realtors have to coach many of their clients. And once my house sold, he reached out to me because he realized that I could be an asset. I'm not formally trained as an interior designer, but I have a great eye and I know what homes need to sell, because this was my 4th time buying and selling. This present home that I purchased, you guys can see the difference between when I bought it versus how it looks now. My realtor saw that I had a good eye for it, and so he decided to bring me on board for certain projects and certain homes that were local to me as sort of like, a freelance assistant to his brokerage. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful for the experience that I've received through the homes that I've worked with him in. And the decluttering goes hand in hand with that. He's a great realtor. I loved working with him. So if you guys are in the Greater Toronto area looking for a realtor, definitely hit me up. I will give you all the deets. Terry God Girl. Hey girl, I pray for you and I hope your heart finds its way to the Lord. He loves you perfectly and is calling you home to him. Question, what's your favorite food to cook? You can save your prayers for somebody else, girl, because my heart already has found my way to the Lord. But anyways, my favorite food to cook is oxtail. Lady Kimberly says, what is the next professional goal you want to accomplish? Do you have any tips for people who want to start their own business but really don't know where to start? Thanks. My next professional goal, I don't actually plan on sharing until it is further in the works or accomplished. So I will respectfully decline to answer that question, but I do have tips for people who are wanting to start their business. I have a book actually called Dream Plan Succeed. It is available on my website, ToniDaley.com. You can purchase the hard copy. I have a few left if you want my autograph. Otherwise, you could pick up the ebook for. And I think that I've been rambling for quite a while, so maybe I should cut it off here. Thank you so much to anybody who left a question. I will be back with a part 2. Thanks for watching, guys.